Hey guys, video number 2 of a series of videos that you're going to want to look at when you rent the camper so that you'll know what questions to ask when you come meet me to pick it up, or just to familiarize yourself with it and make the handoff process go a little bit quicker. And this video is dumping. Now, if you want to skip this step, I do offer a dump fee on all of the platforms that you rent from. So if you just really don't want to dump the tanks yourself when you leave, bring them back full and I'll do them for you if you select that add-on. But other than that, this is the process. So you're going to want to use gloves, okay? I keep gloves in that front compartment right there, a box of them. You have a gray tank, you have the cap to hook your hose up, and you have a black tank lever. So what you're going to want to do is, I keep the hose in here, in this back bumper. So you pull this cap off, and there's your hose. It's actually 2 hoses hooked together, okay? It slides out, it expands and collapses so you can make it as long as you need to. On each end of the hose is a cap. You want to make sure you take these caps out before you hook it up, or you'll make a huge mess. But they stay in there, and put them back in there when you're done. So when you're leaving your campsite, you picked up, you pull into the area that you're supposed to go dump your tanks, there's going to be a hole in the ground. You're going to get that hose out, and then in a box up here that I keep up front is a 90-degree elbow, and so you're going to want that, okay? That is going to go in the hole in the ground. The hose is going to hook up to that plastic piece and hook up right here. You just unscrew this, take off those 2 end pieces on the hose that I showed you, screw it in right there, make sure the other end is going into the hole in the ground that you actually drain. And then what you're going to want to do is you drain your black tank first. So you pull this lever all the way out, okay? And you'll see the waste come out through the clear elbow over the hole in the ground. When it's done draining, leave it open and pull your gray tank. That's going to be all the waste from your shower and your sinks. It's good to do the black first and then the gray so that this water helps push out any leftover waste that you had in that pipe. Once everything's done draining, at most stations where you dump, there will be a garden hose for a water hookup. So while it's draining, you take that hose and you hook it up to your water connection, okay? Turn it on. When it's done draining, you holler at your wife or your husband or your kid or whoever inside the camper that you can get to help you with this task, and have them flush the toilet. And you hold it down for like a minute, 2 minutes to flush some water through the lines, have it all still draining out to make sure you get everything out, okay? And then you tell them to stop. You close both your tanks, okay? Take off your hose, screw this cap back on, and then you want to flush the toilet again for about a minute, just to put a couple of gallons of water in the tank, because it should never be completely dry, okay? It should always be a little bit of water in it. And then I have some treatment that I pour in there, but you don't have to worry about that. I'll do that when you get back. And then you unhook your water, put that back, take the hose that you used, and when you unhook the water from here, I like to spray the inside of the hose a little bit just to make sure you get everything out. And then you just put it back. Put the hose back in here, make sure you put those 2 end caps on it, back on. Take your elbow that you used for the hole, hose it out really good, put it back in that box and put it away. Now if you have a sewage dump at your campsite, which is really nice, which means it's hooked up all the time, so you don't have to worry about dumping your tanks at the end, you're going to want to use this. And all this does is you open it up, you can expand it out however big you need it, and it goes from high to low. So you can put it right here and you follow it all the way to the hose where it's draining, and that way your hose is constantly at a downward angle. Because if you don't use this and you just have your hose hanging, and there will be a big dip, and then all your waste is just collecting right there and not draining. That's nasty. So this is just if you have a hookup at your site. Other than that, you don't need this just to dump. And that's it as far as the dumping goes. And if that sounded complicated or gross or something like you don't want to do, just make sure you select that dump add-on.